into the palace where Gomah has this really goofy looking statue of him. So we're finally going further. I know Dragon Ball DAIMA is like RPG, so it's like you enter the big castle and all that stuff, and Goku's like, oh, what's that statue? And this is where Glorio reveals that this is Gomah. And once again, it's a very I love the shading and effect to make it like a golden statue and all that stuff and everything. So that was pretty cool. So we have the remaining jabronis of the Zandamari guys who are running, talking about the Ginyu Force. The Zandamari Force was defeated. So from out here, as they get closer within it, they start believing that they would stand out too much, and so that they should all split up. So doing the old Scooby-Doo thing where they go like, come on gang, let's split up. And so Goku's like, all right, we can go ahead and save Dende while he's smacking on some chips. And so they go into this room here, and once again, like I said, these backgrounds are looking awesome. And so the remaining gang is all just waving goodbye and everything. And I was like, I understand they want to split up and they think they might stand out too much. I mean, I guess, if Gomah ends up coming to them first before them, how do you know? But I guess it doesn't matter. Son Goku can use instantaneous movement to sense their ki and all that. So it is what it is. And so for whatever reason, I didn't understand his Pansy is looking, oh, and as everyone's walking back, Pansy, she takes one look back. And Glorio, he's taking one look back over there, and Pansy starts flying at him. And I don't know why she just didn't go with him in the first place. So I didn't understand this part. They made it look like she saw something suspicious. And so Pansy runs in there. And there we go. We get looking out the window. It's Degesu. And I guess he just saw them enter the tower, and he's getting really concerned at this point. And so he starts going through this really cool looking area that's going to take him to another part of the palace. Really love the greens here and the water. And then basically Son Goku and Piccolo and them all, they end up going through the area too. Goku's just like, just macking on these potato chips, and Vegeta's like, would you stop eating and just focus for once? And so Goku's like, all right. So he just chucks all those potato chips down and he's like, and he's like, all right, let's go. Son Goku, like I said, he has not shown one ounce of super concern for his friend Dende's well-being here. And so Goku starts focusing now, and he's like, yeah, I can sense Dende's ki. And so they run towards the same area where it looks like Degesu just ran towards, and now Pansy's entered that area. So they run across the bridge here, and then not too far behind is Pansy. And so they get into this area. Once again, this is just looking really cool. Toriyama Akira, he was always a great master of just creating spaceships and machines and all that stuff. And hey, I'm glad that we've gone through these episodes over the last several weeks where we have not had to deal with a spaceship breaking down and everything. So that's been really cool. And so it looks like from here, Degesu is going to try and board one of these ships. And right as he's about to get to there, boom, Goku comes in, hey! And now he's showing serious. Now, after some 16 episodes in, Son Goku, or 15 episodes in since they found out, some 15 episodes later, Son Goku is finally showing the urgency you would expect to have for one's friend who's been kidnapped and been reduced to a helpless state. So this is getting really interesting from here. So we get these back lighting shots of Degesu. He's looking very menacing here, and Goku, he is like, all right, hand over Dende, it's over. And now you can see Goku is angry. Nahare, Piccolo, Vegeta, they are all business. And so Degesu, he's like, oh, I'm impressed you made it this far and everything and stuff like that. Once they beat the Tamagami and Majin Buu and Tamagami, I don't know how impressed or surprised he should be here. It should have been expected. But Degesu, he starts smiling. He puts this gun or space blast or whatever this thing is up to Dende's head while he's asleep. And from here, Goku's like, what's your deal? And Piccolo, he's starting to get angry. And here, basically, his brother, Nada, aka the Supreme Kai, aka the East Kaioshin, he tries to tell him to stop this foolishness. And it's right here that Degesu, he is basically going like, well, it's been a long time, older brother. And he's like, I think a millennium, in fact. So it gets really interesting here, millennium, because well, that's about like 1,000,000 years old. Like, I'm not sure where all this is, because if I think I read, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, if you're watching this here in the chat, or if you are live in the chat, or you're watching this in the on demand. But if I remember right, the Elder Kai, Supreme Kai, the East Kaioshin, the Elder Kaioshin, or is he called like Rondaya Kaioshin, something like that? The Elder Kai, Kaioshin, Supreme Kai. He's like 75 million years old, and I think we know Majin Buu was like over 5 million years old, or close to 5 million years old, meaning that the East Kaioshin being on the younger side, he's also around that 5 million year old mark as well. And so it's been just about a millennium since they seen each other. So I think it all lines up here with the timeline. But once again, I don't know. It's been a while. But that being said, we end up getting where they basically said, I get it, you say you're the Supreme Kai's little brother and stuff, basically. Yeah, he's like the Supreme Kai's little brother, and so this is where he, even though he's a taller one, I think even when nahare was at that the smaller size. But there's a scene that comes from Dr. Arinsu later on in this chapter that mentions that he's typically smaller, so I guess it is what it is. So now he's like, don't get any closer. And I guess this makes sense, because Degesu probably could pull this trigger back, killing Dende quicker than they can get to there, so that makes sense. Degesu, basically, they're asking what he's trying to do, and he's like, it's obvious. And what he wants, he said he wants to be the king of the demon realm. And I don't know here if he was just saying this as a way to try and buy time, or if it means that he was looking to overthrow Gomah all this time. So you got Panzy, who's basically sitting back there, and from here, I guess he mentions that you being a Glen, what do you want to be the king of the demon realm for? And it's from here that he's like, you're always overly ambitious and all that stuff. And he said it's obvious by your lack of thought into the actions, that you need to stop acting like you know everything and stuff, is basically what he's saying here. And he's like, the Glen's nature is always to be in higher positions. And so, he's basically saying that he wants to as what has your so very thoughtful self been doing in the outside world, because I guess he mentions he knows that he's like the kaioshin, which puts him at a high authority over the outside world. And this is where Goku goes like, yeah, what do you do, nahare? And nahare responds that he oversees peace and order in the universe, which I thought was already known when they found out back in the Buu saga that he was the Supreme Kai. Like, didn't Goku already know that the Kai, like when he met like the North Kaio, aka King Kai, his job was to look over his side of the universe, the west. Well, yeah, because they're on the what was it, the north? Yeah, North Kaio. Something. I think he's the north side of the galaxy, and I thought he knew that all the Kais were above that, and so he looks over everything in the universe. So I'm not sure why this is put in there. I thought Son Goku knew this, unless I may have missed something in Dragon Ball Z when this was stated. So meanwhile, the ship goes ahead and opens up here, and Degesu, he's gonna try and get in here, and this is where they start bracing themselves, and they're telling them to stop, and Degesu, he's just smiling deviously. He gets it right up on Dende's cheek. He's about to go ahead and pull the trigger on this thing, and our heroes are like, oh, what do we do? And I love this shot of Degesu just looking absolutely devious here. And so we get a shot back where Gomah's like, what the heck is Degesu doing? And he's like, he must have some kind of plan, right? And he starts wondering, or was he going to abandon him the whole time? And from here, Panzy, she's still looking on, and it looks like Dende's about to get blasted right in the head. And Degesu, he turns, and then we see the feet of Panzy. She ends up just going ahead, jumping right off, running towards her with what looks to be a fly swatter or spatula, and it starts doing some electricity, and she basically comes right on in, and she swings that thing, and the electricity goes, and boom, no avail, as Pansy finds herself face first with the very gun that was about to blow Dende's head off, is now threatening to blow her head off. And Degesu, he's basically just calling her, you know, just a pesky little girl from the third demon realm, and it's not looking good right here. And he's like, now back away. And so that plan didn't go according to plan for Pansy there. And then we get this really yellow thing, and honestly at the point, I don't know if I was the only one, because usually when they're portrayed here with the lighting of the demon realm, it comes off like this very lime green type of color. I'm thinking right here, holy crap, it's gonna be Majin Do. Majin Do has come here to save our heroes, and he doesn't know what's going on here. Degesu's like, what? And bam! That thing smacks him right in the face, and out goes and up goes flying Dende. And so right there you see Pansy, she's flying. I love how brave Pansy is. It's gonna be like, man, shame this is gonna be the it for Pansy. Hopefully Toriyama left notes behind, or Toyotaro will bring her back in episodes later on as far as how they move forward with Dragon Ball Super. And so she launches and catches Dende and slides on the ground, and safe. There she is. I don't know, I know sports. I don't even watch sports, so I don't know if that's what they would call that. But yeah, she's like, gotcha. And so right here, and this is the best example. If you go back to episode 1, what was it that Degesu did in order to take out, was it I think it was Dende or Popo? Piccolo comes in with a chop, boom, right to Degesu's face. And look at Degesu's face, his legs, they're doing the wobbly leg, and he's like, oh, loses his balance, and boom, face first, plant right on the ground, and it is all over like that. Degesu is defeated. Now, I need to really let you guys know, man, I had high hopes for Degesu. I wanted to hear too in the comment section, or even anyone in the chat too, when I go ahead and read the chat messages toward the end of the stream. Did anyone have high hopes for Degesu? Because to me, when we look at the antagonists that were introduced in this series, Dr. Arinsu and Degesu, I thought they were the two coolest designs. And I'm thinking, okay, Degesu's going to really be something really special here. But this frame should make all doubts go away. Degesu just turned out to be a scrub, a chump. Because if we go back a year prior, in what I believe was the 25th Tenkaichi Budokai, aka World Martial Arts Tournament, if I remember correctly, it is Nahare, aka the East Kaioshin, aka the Supreme Kai, which we didn't know any of that at that point. He's just standing there, basically with a devious smile, and that's enough to make Piccolo go, oh, he doesn't even lift a finger. That's right, the East Kaioshin doesn't even lift a finger, and Piccolo goes like, oh, I give up. And he basically walks away because he realizes, I'm going against the Supreme Kai. He didn't want none. Just like AJ Styles, who came back at the Royal Rumble previously with his theme song says, they don't want none. They don't want none, right? Piccolo did not want any of the East Kaioshin. So when it comes to the East Kaioshin's brother here, Piccolo said, no, screw that. Bam! Chop, and it's over. Didn't even take his cape and turban apron off. There was no hesitation at all. So that shows you just how weak in the power spectrum Degesu was. Man. Wow, and here I was thinking Degesu was gonna, like I say, pull a Commander Black and overthrow Gomah and become the true big bad threatening evil of this series the way they were going at it. But no, he was just a really cool design. They looked like he was gonna do something really cool. And Toriyama, as he's known for, he likes to go against people's expectations. He creates a really cool looking character, and that cool looking character is treated like a jump. And then he creates a really goofy looking character like Gomah, and as we're going to see towards the end of this episode, that is the real big threat, the real big bad. So yeah, unfortunate. Really cool character design, but I think at the end of the day, that's all I'm gonna really be able to say about Degesu. Really cool character design. He looked like a taller, more devious version of his brother Nahare, aka the Supreme Kai. And so there you go, Degesu is out, and it's apparent that this is not Majin Do, it's a hat. And Goku's like, nice going, Pansy, and even Vegeta smiling. So I love it to hear Vegeta smile. Usually, he'd be like, not a big deal, but yeah, here he's smiling. So that shows you the the definite, especially Vegeta, who's the one who was trying to get serious here about saving Dende. So once again, love the character development we're seeing from Vegeta compared to what he was when he was punching Dende in the stomach because he wouldn't heal him. And so there you have this really cool shot that really reminded me of when Son Goku put Frieza down, you know, doing the iconic "You fall" blast and all that stuff. So that was pretty cool. And so there we go. He's just looking down sad at his brother, wishing that his brother could have, you know, obviously done something much better with his life, but this is where it's got him. And so Goku's like, what is this? And they look back and it's Glorio, who was the one that chucked that thing. And there it is. He's like, my head is cold. It's Hibis. So that hat came in handy after all. And so Pansy's like, you saved us. And she thinks Dende is the most adorable thing and stuff like that. and all that stuff. But they're glad to have Dende back, and it's really cool. Yeah, he's eerily cute. And we see the outside realm here, and Degesu just looking all pathetic. They got the best of him. He is trapped now, and they're gonna just basically keep him. I mean, even the weaker guys, the subordinates of King Kaden, who I gotta imagine is weaker than the rest of the cast, they're able to keep this guy at bay. So I mean, wow, just wow, man. Degesu, so much hope and everything, but amounted to absolutely nothing here in Dragon Ball DAIMA. And so from here, Dende is rescued, and they said all that's left now is to turn us back into adults, which I was hoping. I'm like, let's get the Dragon Ball, because I would rather see this final battle where they're cool, because I want to see SS3 Goku and particularly Vegeta as adults, as we're not, you know, this is going to be our really only chance to really see Vegeta at SS3, because I just don't think there is any plan. I don't know if they're going to bring it back at all, as he has no reason to go SS3 anymore in the upcoming material Dragon Ball Super, nor did he do it at all throughout Super. And so, that's where I think Piccolo asks, what about Gomah? And, you know, Goku's like, should we take care of him first? And then Glorio here is basically saying how, no, Gomah can't be underestimated, which is something I got to say coming up about this whole third eye, because Glorio really hyped up Gomah. Gomah's been hyped up as if even without the third eye, this guy is a force to be reckoned with. But there's been nothing of Gomah, basically how afraid he is that these guys were able to overcome as much as they have with Majin Buu and the Tamagami. And so he's mentions fighting the Tamagami and becoming adults will first be better. And of course he's secretly working for Dr. Arinsu, so he wants those Dragon Balls, right? And then we basically hear that the first Demon World Tamagami is over right there in the square. So they head right over to